Robin, thank you very much indeed. I cannot hope to emulate the erudition and eminence of the previous speakers, and I've noticed we've all reached the bewitching hour when people are thinking of wanting to go home after quite a long session, so I shall be very brief. And I won't try to sum up what's happened this evening, but it's been very inspiring. And I think that's what we need to remember. We are here to celebrate a very inspiring individual. Every teacher will tell you that all children need role models. And we've got a role model in Rev Moon. And somebody who was so self-effacing and so self-denying, but who stood always for peace and bringing to people together, is something that can be inspiring and stands alongside other leaders from which we draw inspiration, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Nelson Mandela, like so many others that I won't name now, but you will all have them in your minds, of the people who've actually made you feel that you can do some sort of emulation of what they have stood for and actually make a difference in the world. Now, I said, dear friends, what do I mean by that? Well, we're all friends here because we actually all share a common vision that it's possible to build a world of peace. But there's not much else we share. Look around the room. Just look around. Different religions, different ethnicities, different countries of origin. I mean, we are so polyglot, we are so mixed as to make it virtually impossible. And people say, how can you lot all get on together? Because look at all those things. And, you know, I know, I've been here when we've had massive, great arguments, when there have been, you know, people extremely upset and exercised about something that somebody else has said. But the importance of it is that that is where it stays. This is where we debate. This is where we actually recognise differences, where we respect individualism, where we respect difference. We respect people who have different ideas. We don't seek to impose our own. We can argue that ours are better, or better informed, historically more accurate, whatever. We can do that, but we don't discount people simply because they are different, of a different religion or ethnicity or whatever. And when you think about it, what has really divided the world throughout the history of humankind, and it has been that failure to respect. And that's what was exemplified in Father Moon's life. That respect and understanding of the human dignity of every human being, whatever their origin, whatever their ethnicity, whatever their education, they all were created in the image of God. And therefore they deserve that kind of respect. And it was mentioned earlier today, and I think Keith gave a wonderful and very well-researched talk about that signal moment when Reverend Moon went to North Korea. But it was also mentioned that actually he liked people. Now, what actually draws us all together, and what is the abiding message that we can take from Reverend Moon? It is love, and that's also been mentioned. We love each other. Now, it doesn't mean to say we have to like each other. In fact, we can very much dislike other people, and that's perfectly legitimate. But we have to love them, and loving them means that we do respect their human dignity, that we do respect their standpoint, that we do respect where they're coming from. We may think they're misguided, and we may seek to move them onto a different path. But you cannot have a dialogue of the deaf. You cannot have a dialogue where people are so fundamentally opposed that they will not actually seek out those areas that join together. And, you know, most of us here are adherents to the Abrahamic faiths. And it's always surprised me in a way that sadly, through doctrine and dogma over the centuries, those faiths have always sought to identify the differences rather than the commonalities that bind them together. And if we thought more in the world as a whole about what binds us together about what are the common interests, about how we can actually talk to people about things we believe in, that they believe in as well, then we really will be moving towards that goal that Father Moon so admirably and articulately set out, which is to build one family under God in a world of peace. Thank you very much for coming along.